How's it, man? So good day and welcome to this very sad day where I will mow this lawn for the last time. Okay, like I mentioned, so in this video I'll cut this lawn for the very last time. Firstly, I'm just going to excuse all the noise, all the people walking past, all the dogs barking. I'm not going to say sorry all the time. I'm not going to stop filming all the time because in the near future we're going to do a ton of videos right here. So unfortunately this time, or the time for this lawn has come and gone. It is time for me to mow this puppy for the last time. Before I share a lot of news with you and a lot of plans with you, let's cut this guy for its final time.
Beneath my feet, summer days drift in the heat. Rusty mower starts to grow. Final time I'm here alone. Crickets sing their sad refrain. Memories in every blade. Sunset paints the sky with gold. Final mow before I'm old. Goodbye yard I used to know. Goodbye path where I would go. Grass so green now fades away. Last mow's done, no more to say. Wind whispers through the trees. Summer's love, a gentle breeze. Lawn no more beneath my care. Footprints gone without a scare. Echoes of the laughter fade. Shadows call where we once played. Silent cries from days gone by. Empty field now meets.
Right guys, so that was actually quite sad, mowing this lawn for the last time. So yes, I'm going to do a complete renovation here. This grass is coming out, and the reason for that is not necessarily the grass. I love Kikuyu, but one of the main reasons is what's happening on this lawn. As you go lower down, you can see how uneven it is, and we'll do some tests now just to illustrate that. But this lawn needs to go. I need to make improvements here. Now, first thing is I'm going to take out the grass. I would have liked to spray this grass dead through the last part of this growing season to really get this Kikuyu dead before we put in a new grass type. Okay, the reason why I'm not doing that is some of my folks need some grass. Now this grass isn't in great condition now, we'll talk about that in a second, but I would rather donate this grass which they can put on the yards, and with a bit of fertilizer, a bit of water, it'll kick back straight into gear. Now before we move on, I just want to show you the difference between a maintained lawn and an unmaintained lawn. So I wanted to do this almost exactly a year ago. So for the entire last growing season, I did absolutely nothing but mow maybe once in 2 weeks on this lawn. No fertilizer, no additional water besides rain, nothing. And it's really starting to show, guys. This is probably the worst area. Kind of getting bare, loads of weeds. Some of the area still not bad, like here, still fairly thick, healthy Kikuyu. Not a lot of color because it's not, you know, overflowing with nutrients at this stage or this point in time. But in general, this thing is not looking great. This is probably the worst area, from that lighter area there all the way through here. And now I just want to show you the inside of my yard. Same Kikuyu with a little bit of love. You probably saw it in the previous video if you're following this channel. If you're not, what a great shame. You better get that subscribe button clicked, my boy. And yes, this is our I don't want to even say greatly maintained. It's really a mediocre amount of effort going into this lawn. You know, just a bit more frequent mowing, a little bit of fertilizer. I don't even think I put one herbicide application down this year, maybe one, I can't even remember, and a little bit of extra water, guys, makes a huge difference. Just look at the color, scalp back, so there's new fresh growth. Really, a little bit of love goes a long way, guys, and this is the proof of it. Still got bare areas, but the health of the grass is just so much better. Okay guys, so there's quite a few reasons why I want to do a complete renovation here and improve this things here outside on the, let's call it the driveway side of the yard. Probably the first reason is just how slopey it is, guys. I need to improve. I don't think the camera does it justice. I don't think you can really understand how slopey, especially this part here where the weeds is. Right, so I've got my Toro here. still set to the greens height, so I'm not going to cut anything. I just want to show you what happens with a smooth rear roller. I kid you not, you cannot keep this thing. You just can't keep this thing on the grass, guys. It literally just slides off into the road. Okay, now I'm going to do the Rolux, or the professional with a vulcanized, rubberized, ribbed, grooved, whatever rear roller you want to call it. It's got a lot more grip, but still there's a huge downfall. A lot of the times I would come out and the machine would actually switch off like that. Oil starvation. Now, unless it's like kind of full with oil, which is also something I don't want to do that often, because if you tip the machine back, it can take the oil into the breathing chamber at the back. I don't know what you call that thing, but it has happened to me, and that's quite, I would imagine, quite harmful to the engine, especially at revs, sucking in oil through the top part of the piston, or the chamber. So there, it switches off. Okay, there we're running again on the flat. So going in this direction, not too bad, because I would assume the sensor might be on this side of the engine, so now it's got quite a lot of oil over the sensor. I'm not sure if it works with a pump. I'm not sure how they do this oil starvation cutout thing, but you can see this mower stays a little bit better onto the hill here. But this really is the biggest driver to me wanting to regrade this lawn, rethink it and improve it here. Okay, so besides the slope being the biggest driver to this renovation of mine, one of the other things is having grass up to the edge here. So I've got my sprinklers running right on this edge of where the grass meets the street, and it doesn't happen often, but when we get guests, people drive onto the lawn here. Some people make U-turns, some people just come out of the driveway there where the lawnmowers are standing, and then they just use that part to just kind of get out of the road, those type of things. And unfortunately, every time they do that, especially with this cheaper sprinklers, the pop-up sprayers, instead of the rotor heads, they just tend to break. The plastic just doesn't seem to be as strong, and they break. So it's quite frustrating every year replacing sprinklers and sprinklers and sprinklers. Not that this irrigation system has worked over the last year, disconnected it. Like I said, I wanted to do this quite a long time ago, but this is also a reason why I would like to make some improvements here. So the process of what I'm going to do, guys. Right, guys, so you can skip to the next video if you want to, but I'm going to talk about the process, and planning is probably the best thing you can do to give you an idea of how big this actual renovation is. And this might be something that you want to do at your house. If you've really got uneven areas that you really want to change, do proper preparation. I'm going to talk about a lot of things in this video, just my little bit of experience. I'm going to try and hand over to you, and I would really like if you would get involved in telling me your experiences or tips even on this area. So first thing is, I'm going to remove the grass. I'm not going to spray it dead. I might do a glyphosate application after the grass is gone, but I'm going to remove the grass to donate it to family members. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rip up the irrigation because I'm going to put in new irrigation here. Well, I'm going to take out all the grass, so I might as well take out that. Whether I'm going to use some of it, I'm not 100% sure yet. Then after that, I'm going to take out all of these plants. I'm going to leave the tree. It's not a wonderful tree. I left it in its bag for too long, and it kind of died on top one winter, and it did a whole branching thing there. But most of this is going to go. I think I'm going to keep the rose, and I'm going to keep this. It's like a Japanese or Chinese maple, something of the sort. This will also at the end probably be the walkway to the lawn well, when I'm done. Right, so as you've seen in previous videos, I don't know if I've made a lot of videos about it yet. I want to put up a new irrigation zone system there, which is close to this part here. So I've dug underneath this grass about 2 years back, and I've put out some pipes for new irrigation. Already pressurized, so I need to see why it's leaking. So that ends close to where that danger sign is of the electric fence. So I need to dig underneath this wall. I don't know how deep this foundation is, but I need to get my new irrigation pipes through from there. Also a draining pipe which will allow this chamber where the gate runs in behind the wall to drain out, because that fills up with water and it floods my gate motor all the time, which is very frustrating. Right, when all of that is done, then the big thing, the grading of the soil. So I need to figure out how flat I can get this. Now there's two huge options here. I can either grade as much as I possibly can with this existing level, or I need to build some sort of a retaining wall here to flatten out this area of grass. Now there's a few things to consider. The first thing is, I'm not 100% sure if you are allowed to do this. You'll probably need to get some sort of, go ahead from the municipality or whatever, but I see the guys do it, like my neighbor here, and you generally don't pick up problems. The one thing you might pick up a problem with is if they ever come through and lay cables, like these are in the air, which irritates me, but they might come through here in a few years, digging up the whole sidewalk or the driveways or whatever, and then they're going to dig up probably that whole wall, which will be frustrating. The other option, obviously, to grade the soil the best I can, is to get this bottom part as flat as possible, then build a high garden bed right here, not necessarily with bricks, but maybe like a soil embankment, then plant something on the embankment and have a garden on top there. If I don't go with a wall, that's where it comes in. I will definitely do a very narrow garden along the entire way of this grass section. Why is that? Because I don't want people to drive onto the grass. That's probably my second biggest driver of changing this. So I'll have to plant a bushy type thing or something big that people know. Listen, I can't drive with my Hilux or my Ford Ranger or my whatever over this lawn because there's a bloody heck of a plant standing here. Okay guys, so this is where I'm at right now. The biggest decision after taking out the grass and deciding on the new grass type, obviously, is the wall, yes or no. Gooi your comments in the comment section below what you think I should do. But I would really try not to build a wall here. Firstly, don't want them to damage it when they put in new pipes. Secondly, I don't want to go through the costs of building a 35-meter wall here, plus probably edges up to the sides here. You're talking about a 40-meter wall. It's going to cost me quite a pretty penny, and I don't have the money, or I don't want to spend the money at the moment to build a wall right here just to change the grade. So ideal option here is, or the ideal scenario here is to grade it as much as possible to get the grass as flat as possible, to get away with no building, no nothing. If I have to, here's the two plans from there onwards. So if I don't build the wall, here's the plan. We put in new irrigation, we absolutely grade this to perfection because, sorry, I forgot to mention the biggest thing here. We want to dominate the street. It's been quite embarrassing this last year. We need this to look proper. Now, mediocre, hopefully in a few months' time, proper. Okay, so we grade the soil to absolute perfection, put in new pipes, fittings, sprinkler heads so that we've got this thing basically automated. After that, put some nice plants in both rows, maybe on top of at the wall and here at the bottom on the street side, and then we seed our new lawn. If I do have to run the costs of building a new wall and the efforts of building a new retaining wall here, there's a few options that I will then have to consider over that. And the first thing is, what type of wall do we build? Firstly, am I using the same face brick as the current wall there to match that? The one thing I do know is they no longer manufacture this brick, so it looks, oh no, they actually manufacture, so if you can, let me show you this. My house and my wall here is two different bricks. I think they still manufacture this one. They don't manufacture the one that the house is built with about 410 years ago. The second option is this retaining block that I've used here underneath my putting green. So these work quite well. There's the putting green. So I don't know, option number 2. Another option is gabion baskets, guys. So you build like a steel basket and you throw dump rock in there, and it builds like this rocky wall as well. It's more or less the same thing. It's like a modern way of building a rock wall. Option number 4 is a rock wall. Firstly, I don't know where I'll get someone from the 16th century you can still build with this style, but I absolutely love it. At first I didn't like this type of wall, but then I kind of fell in love with it because it complements my old house. Yeah, and then the last option is like a slatted, what do they call it, concrete sleepers, which you take like your pillow, not the pillow, what do you call it, a lintel, and then you slide like a precast wall. I think that's quite familiar here in South Africa. Everyone knows a precast wall, and then you build it with like a wood finished, or just a plain concrete, whatever you choose. You just slide that in to retain this, because it won't be a very high wall. I mean, we're really talking maybe 500, 600, maybe 700 mils maximum lift. And then when that is done, we put new irrigation, grade the soil, put some plants, and seed the new lawn. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Say bye-bye to this lawn. It's the end. The end has come. The time has come for you to go, which is very sad. I've had some lucky times out here. I had some good success here. Took it from a terrible lawn to a good lawn, back to a terrible lawn. Yeah, exciting videos to follow. Maybe not as instructional as you would hope. Maybe just, you know, this is what I'm doing type of videos. But yeah, I'll see you in those videos, guys. If you enjoyed this video, gooi a like. If you enjoy this channel, gooi a subscribe. See you in the next one. Cheers, bye-bye.